Okay, good morning, worm farmers. I'm going to try to stay ultra focused on bin health, what I go through, check for, do for making the agriculture amendments. First of all, in order to keep me on task, I use my jewelry system. And so my population has a gray bead, which means it's medium. Oh boy, this needs to be a dark brown. These castings are looking like they're going through this bedding pretty good. So it was mainly like leaves, probably grass, things that was easy for them to digest and get through. So we'll go ahead and change that one to a dark in the end. Then we have a very high number casting cocoons. We did feed them last time, so their food, they really ate a lot of that. So we'll need to feed them again. Moisture level, we'll check on that, and everything looks good as far as a fire hazard. Nothing's going to get too hot in that bin, I don't believe. And I don't think I'm going to be adding anything to this bin. We're going to turn it, and the first thing I do when I go for a turn is I look to see how much water is there on the bottom of the bin. I do not want any standing water at all. This is not shiny on the bottom either. It's kind of a dull color. That's the moisture level I'm looking for. You do not want any standing, stagnant water, because that creates, any type of water creates a low oxygen environment. And you can get human pathogens growing in your bins. I've seen them. You can see them in the microscope. So you do not want anything super wet, nothing standing on the bottom. That's going to harbor your anaerobic bacteria. And that's what we don't want. So while we're turning this is to make sure we're getting the oxygen in this bin. So this bin does not have a whole lot of the wood shavings in it. So it seems like it could compact a lot easier because it doesn't have those larger particles keeping that pore space inside there open. Okay, so this has been in the future that when I split it, I really like the looks of it right now. I will add those wood shavings so that I can get those pore spaces larger and they can hold more oxygen. What can also happen in that environment, because we have a moist enough environment that we're going to be raising our flagellates, and what they'll be doing is converting your nitrogen from the atmosphere into the NH4, which your plants are going to want and need. So they also, when they eat this and then, they poop it out, it's like a cow. You know how valuable cow manure is. I have this little book. I should get it out back in the day when there were little farmsteads everywhere. I think they called that manure was like black gold. And so this is too. Although we don't want that black color. We want a nice chocolate brown, dark chocolate brown color. And this is looking good. It still needs a lot more time. There are a lot of cocoons, but I'm not seeing trillions of babies. So I'm probably going to need another, say, 3 weeks or so to get that done. One thing I'm noticing is I haven't come across any wool. And I put wool in a lot of these here to see how they broke down. So obviously the wool just completely got demolished. I think by the fungus that's growing in these bins. So now this, like I said, this is a little bit for what I'm trying to accomplish with the amendments. I'm not looking for castings. I'm looking for castings. I'm not looking to get cocoons, so I don't need to separate the cocoons. So my bedding is not important on that one, and I'm looking for finding particle stuffs that harbor and grow the bacteria and the fungi. I can use those large chunks in my extractor. We're going to just put them in the basket, and we're going to aerate that So those large chunks will just come out and then they'll be added right back into a bin. So we're just gonna extract off that microbiology, and then we're gonna feed the biology, and well, obviously we're gonna want to get the humic acids out of here and things like that, so we can put it on the field. So now, you kind of understand there's a process to what I'm looking for in here as far as nitrogen, to produce that nitrogen. We don't just want to make a pile and leave it, and there's a lot of factors that you need to watch and maintain to keep a healthy condition. So now we're going to go ahead and feed these guys. So what I'll probably end up doing in future, every time I feed, I've got these old leaves. So I'll probably put a few leaves down on the base, because this food's going to create moisture. Obviously, catabolism will create moisture as these particles break down. That's what catabolism is. So I can wheel my card over here so I don't drip and make a huge mess all over. I've got some banana, there's apple, those are some broccoli florets. More banana, some onion, a lot of banana. There's some cauliflower. We have a lot of potatoes, tomatoes, all this garbage going on. Now, the other thing that you need to like change your mindset, because I know people get very irate when it comes to like, okay, avocado, I'm gonna squeeze it, but last time it exploded, so I gotta be a lot more careful down here. I can wash the floor, we do have a drain, but that was all, it exploded and went everywhere. So, there's a Brussels sprout, Brussels sprouts, this stuff, even though I'm calling it garbage, I'm like, this isn't waste. Even if you go and just throw this in a landfill, I mean, there's going to be worms in your landfill, so it doesn't really matter where, you know, as long as it gets back to the earth and gets broken back down, it's not wasted. So, oh look, it looks like a cucumber. Cut it in half and added a couple spots. Now that's quite a bit of food there. And I still have 2 towers to get through, which is 20 bins. 20 bins! So, I'll probably be out of food after, well, I don't know if I'll go through all those bins today. Yeah, I probably better just to get it done. I'll check to see if they really even need food. If they don't, I won't go through them. But. So now at this point, I'm adding more leaves. The reason I'm kind of doing that is I want to add some space there so that not the biology, because here the problem would be if I added too much food and then the bacteria start breaking it down real fast. So in order for bacteria to multiply, you know, and those need that much food to break down, and they gotta use oxygen. So if I put too much food in here and that bacteria starts multiplying way too fast, they suck all the oxygen out of the atmosphere and create an anaerobic condition. That's why I'm doing this all in small bins, so I don't have deep bins that become anaerobic. And I'm doing small feeding, so I don't have a lot of food breaking down that's going to start composting super fast and then also create an anaerobic condition. So lots of levels to this. You got to be on your toes. You got to be paying attention and know a lot so that you can catch any of these conditions that might crop up if you're doing something and you don't know what that reaction is going to be. So I hope I touched on all those points. It's been fed and turned. We'll check we had a moderate amount of worms. I'm saying we're getting towards the, needing a darker bead for more population. And this is a medium. I would say these castings, let's go ahead and change those 2 beads. I mean, I like that my cocoon level was good. I fed them. Moisture, good. Nothing a fire hazard here that I see. Like I said, I'm going with a darker brown on my castings because I might be able to harvest some castings at some point. And then I'm going with a darker bead for my population because I feel like they are multiplying pretty good, pretty rapidly. And so, I hope I didn't miss anything. Explaining the steps of why I do what I do in these bins to achieve what I need to achieve for me for the agriculture amendments. I would be doing things differently if I was harvesting the cocoons or, trying to breed for selling the worms. But at this moment in time, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to try to get enough of this vermicast to be able to extract this spring to apply to the agriculture fields and see, if I notice a big difference. And also to get my soil food web certification, I need to be able to prove to them that I can convert that dirt into soil. So I have my plots picked, and now I've got my crops picked, just corn and soy. And then that's my main goal for this year, 2024, is just to have those 2 plots maintained with just spraying and adding the amendments. But I need to get some equipment made and gathered before I can do that. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how far I make it. Keep cheering me on, guys. Keep cheering me on. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again on another day.